Rep. Luis Gutierrez DIll speaks at a news conference this month to show solidarity with the people of Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands after the crisis caused by Hurricanes Irma and Maria. Tasos KatopodisGetty Images Rep. Luis Gutierrez DIll, a longtime advocate for comprehensive immigration reform and strident critic of the Trump administration, is set to announce Tuesday he is retiring from Congress, according to multiple Democrats familiar with the decision. Calls to the congressman were not answered Monday night. His top spokesman, Doug Rivlin, declined to comment. The Democrats who described Gutierrez's plans expected him to serve out the remainder of his term, which expires in early 2019. Gutierrez held an event in Chicago on Monday alongside Mayor Irma and Maria and is slated to hold a news conference in Chicago on Tuesday morning. The 63-year-old congressman has served his Chicago district since 1993 and is a senior member of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Gutierrez, who is of Puerto Rican descent, is leading a bipartisan push to send tens of millions of dollars in federal aid to storm-ravaged Puerto Rico. He was also arrested this year outside Trump Tower in New York protesting the president's strict immigration enforcement policy. But Gutierrez also was among the harshest liberal critics of former President Barack Obama, a fellow Chicagoan, whom he called the deportee-in-chief for ordering immigration agencies to deport hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants. He strongly disagreed with the decision by Obama and his then Chief of Staff Emanuel to use the early years of his presidency to push for healthcare reform instead of an immigration overhaul. Before the Thanksgiving recess, Gutierrez told The Washington Post that he was planning to file the roughly 800 signatures he needed to collect to run for re-election. "I'm filing my papers, and I'm doing it again," he said at the time. But he has privately hinted to colleagues in recent years that he wanted to retire, believing he could do so now that the Hispanic caucus has more than 30 members, including several younger, more ambitious colleagues. Gutierrez's decision gives potential replacements just 1 week to collect signatures and get on the ballot. Two potential candidates include Cook County Commissioner Jesus Chuy Garcia and Chicago Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa. Rosa said in a text message Monday night, "I've had many people reach out to me pushing me to run if the seat is open. If Gutierrez is true, I will begin circulating tomorrow." Widely known across Chicago, Gutierrez is arguably the most high-profile and best-known member of Congress to Spanish-speaking Latinos who Univision and Telemundo national newscasts. Much like Sen's John McCain-Raras, or Bernie Sanders' IVT, frequent news programs in English, Gutierrez is an eagerly sought guest to weigh in on all issues of the day in Spanish. In a 2013 Washington Post profile of the congressman, Jorge Ramos, who anchors Univision's nightly newscast, Noticiero Univision, explained that there are only a few names that are familiar to most Hispanic families, and Luis Gutierrez is one of them. Ramos said Gutierrez can draw a crowd not just because he's always on, but because he's on the right side of history, or he's on the side of Latinos and undocumented immigrants. Gutierrez is not the only senior Latino lawmaker stepping down after next year. Rep. Ileana Ros-Lehtinen in RFLA, the most senior Hispanic female Republican in Congress, is also set to retire after next year. David Weigel contributed to this report.